Google is going out on a limb. It is betting the house on perhaps the most divisive aspect of the Pixel smartphones. If you thought the last year or so was a strange situation in the market, you haven't seen anything yet. So let me talk about the upcoming Pixel 11 series, because the company has made some very strange calls, and I'm desperate to hear your opinions on this matter. Hey guys, I'm Ryan Thomas, and it looks like Google's Tensor G6 system on chip is going to be, if anything, a regression from the Tensor G5. And let's be totally clear from the get-go, the Tensor line is hardly a beacon of power and performance, is it? I mean, repeatedly it has fallen short of Qualcomm, Apple, even Samsung with the Exynos chips down the ears, particularly in GPU performance. Now, what's more debatable is whether you think that these poor benchmarks and poor overall scores really make a perceivable difference to real-world day-to-day usage. I personally feel like it's not as big of a problem as people make out in headlines, but I also feel a little bit uneasy about the whole thing given this current situation. And also a big shout out to my colleague Ben for producing the Android Police article about this news. He has influenced this video greatly, so I recommend you check out his full write-up. The link will be in the description. Leaks online have shown the G6, the new SoC rumoured to launch with the Pixel 11, to have dropped a CPU core entirely, and not to have caught up in the GPU department at all. Most Android flagship models come with SoCs that have 8 cores. Even the Pixel 10 Pro's Tensor G5 rocked an 8-core chip, had a single super fast core, 5 fast cores, and then 2 efficiency cores to round it out. Now the G6 is reportedly comprised of 1 ARM C1 Ultra, the super fast core, 4 C1 Pro cores, the sort of middle of the road ones, and then 2 lower rated C1 Pro cores. So it's looking like it's the middle cluster that will drop a core here. The GPU is looking similarly dicey with the PowerVR based chip that seems to have come out of 2021. A 5-year-old GPU in a brand new phone. Yikes. By the way, if you enjoy the content we make here, then please consider hitting subscribe to help us hit our goal of 500,000. Thank you very much. So if you're big into your specs, this is not looking good. Not for a series of phones that hasn't even come out yet. And when all we really have to go off is those specifications, the data, the numbers, it's really easy to feel like this spells doom and gloom for the Tensor G6. But it's possible we don't actually need to worry as much as the initial information would suggest. We all know that peak FPS, peak benchmark performance, it's all great for gloating to each other, winning games of top trumps, but in reality, the day-to-day life, when you're going about your business, do you really need peak performance or sustained performance? If anything, it is the sustained performance and the efficiency that really matters. And given how Google has gone about cutting off that mid-range core, it's looking like they're targeting the user experience and abandoning areas of chasing the top score charts. Not to go too off topic here, but this is generally the mantra and idea of the Pixel brand in my opinion. Notice how the original Pixel adverts spoke about specifications, pointed at hardware features. Contrast that with the present day marketing, which is basically entirely about a user experience. It doesn't mention specifications whatsoever. I think it makes an awful lot of sense, and this would point in the right direction too. To improve that SoC's efficiency, it's looking like Google is pulling that CPU core to bring down the overall operating temperature and reduce the risk of thermal throttling, which is basically to say when a chip has to lower its clock speeds just to bring the thermals back in check. My colleague Ben gave a great example here, being that phones get quite hot when you're running max brightness, mobile data and GPS enabled for when you're, let's say, using your phone in your car for directions. That's when you'll notice the battery degrading super fast, the thing will get boiling hot to the touch. But by bringing down the internal operating temperature, the Pixel phones could in general be more efficient in this manner. They should be able to last longer. Remember, not everyone has Android Auto and big screens in their cars. Speaking of mobile data though, and GPS I guess, leaks revealed the Pixel 11 is going to ship with a whole new modem, a MediaTek unit for the first time over the Samsung Exynos models that they've been using before. It's called the M90 and it's supposedly an incredibly efficient unit that should see the Pixel 11's that should see the Pixel 11's overall battery life increase for those that are always out and about. Now, I can't say any more about it because, well, I haven't seen it yet, but this could aid efficiency in just one other way and really builds that efficiency profile. Because it also looks like the Tensor G6 is going to be built on TSMC's 2nm node, a way more efficient setup than the 3nm node that was the Tensor G5. It means transistors can be more dense within the chip, which enables either higher clock speeds and more performance, but for the same battery life, or keep the clock speeds and the performance the same, but with better battery life. It's going to be really interesting to see which way Google goes with this. Like, would they put the same chip in both phones, the 11 and the 11 Pro, but maybe the Pro gets the faster version with the same battery life and the base model 11 gets better battery life with the same performance? I don't know, we'll see what happens here. It wouldn't be the first time a phone in a lineup got a binned chip. I guess subscribe to stay tuned for upcoming coverage so we can go over that in person. You've probably already seen that Google is looking to drop the base model RAM configuration all the way to 8GB, which on its own is a bit of a bummer, but when you consider just how much the Google Pixel experience relies on AI with its magic features, be that on-device Gemini or computational photography, if there was one phone that kind of needed the RAM for AI, it was going to be the Google Pixel, wasn't it? So 8GB could drastically reduce the operating speed of this stuff, perhaps even downright disable some features. Remember, we're used to seeing 50% more RAM in the base models. 12GB is the start usually, and 4GB of that is usually reserved for AI compute. So are we theoretically going to see a Pixel 11 with 8GB of RAM, 4 of which is for the general running of the thing? What is this, 2015? With the RAM-pocalypse, this might genuinely though be the only way to get a Pixel at a reasonable price. I mean, we've seen price hikes across the entire tech industry, from the Steam Deck, games consoles, Apple's entire computer lineup. It's not exactly a great time to be buying any kind of technology at the moment, and perhaps worst still is for us enthusiasts. We like to see meaningful upgrades each year. I don't know when that's going to happen next. The Pixel 11 series is looking to be both a complete snorefest, but also really interesting in its situation from a cost-cutting exercise. When tech is getting more expensive for everyone and the state of the industry is in major flux, how is Google going to get around that obstacle, the clear monetary obstacle, and still produce a phone that does what Google does best? I can't wait to get my hands on the Pixel 11 series and find that out for myself. Google has bet the house on its next generation of smartphones, and I for one am ready to be waiting to see that outcome. Okay AP gang, what's going on with Google? Do you think this could be the nail in the coffin for the series? Is it proof that the industry, despite public sentiment, is doubling down, tripling down, quadrupling down on AI? I mean, I've become so sick and tired of talking about AI, you just have no idea. So definitely let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and whilst you're down there, be sure to hit like if you enjoyed today's content and consider subscribing to help us hit our goal of 500,000 and also to never miss another upload on this channel. Thank you all so much for watching. I've been Ryan Thomas, and I'll catch you later. Cheers.